Eagle Eye Detective Agency, Jennifer here.
Jennifer, this is Michael Gallen. You know how detectives on TV sometimes get jobs guarding things, right? I mean, like guarding crime witnesses and stuff.
I guess I've seen shows like that on TV, Michael. What's up?
Sometimes on TV they guard valuable things, like $1 million painting being sent to a new museum, right?
Michael, it sounds to me like you have something valuable and you're afraid someone is going to steal it.
Shh, Jennifer, don't tell anyone. My brother and I are over at Riverside Park. I'm calling from the payphone at the corner. You've got to get here fast.
Okay, Michael, okay. But the Eagle Eye Detective Agency hasn't ever guarded something valuable before.
We don't care. You guys are the only ones we can trust. Please, just get over here.
Okay, Michael, we'll be right there. Well, what do you think of that? I hope we aren't jumping in over our heads on this one. Look, there are Michael and Christopher and their dog Cassie. They look so nervous you'd think they found a chest full of buried gold.
We were playing catch beside the Andrew Jackson statue, and Cassie was digging a hole over by the riverbank.
All of a sudden, she started barking like crazy and dancing around the hole like she does when we're making her dinner.
So we ran over to see what she found, and there was this old tin box, half buried in the ground at the bottom of the hole.
Jennifer, boy, are we glad you're here.
Yeah, ever since Cassie dug up that box, we've been afraid to go anywhere.
No, we weren't afraid. We were just, we were undecided.
Yuck, it sure smells old. It looks like somebody glued it in an album and then tore it out again.
You know what's scary, you guys? Andy Hill has a poster of a card on the wall over at his baseball card shop.
It's the card that Wayne Gretzky, the hockey star, and another guy bought at an auction. They paid over $500,000 for it.
This one is kind of messed up, but it's the same card. We've stared at that poster 1,000 times.
He's right, Jennifer. That's it. It's the same Wagner card that Wayne Gretzky bought. It's worth a lot of money.
It doesn't look like anyone's noticed what you found. Just walk home. It's only a couple of blocks back to your house. We'll do some investigating and tell you what we find out.
Okay. I just wish we had an armored car to ride in.
I was hoping that a baseball card show would be happening here today, but no luck.
Hello, kids. I'm filling in here at the copy kiosk while the owner works at his other store. It's boring, but I earn extra money every month, and I still have time for my job at the Egyptian Theater.
I bet making copies all the time gets kind of boring.
Yeah. The only interesting customer I've had this year was when Mark Moriarty wanted to make a color copy on that real old paper back a couple of months ago. I thought that old cardboard wouldn't work in the machine, but we copied the picture from the magazine, and it came out great.
Andy Hill knows everything there is to know about baseball cards. I bet he can help us figure out what that card really is. That old Wagner card on the poster over there looks fresh, doesn't it, Mark?
What are you guys nosing around about old baseball cards for?
Relax, Mark. We just thought that poster looks cool.
That poster came from Card Life magazine. The issue that came out 2 months ago had a big article about the Wagner card with color pictures. Mark here bought a copy from me himself.
I didn't read that part. I just read the articles about Mark McGuire and Barry Bonds. I don't care about old cards. I only like new cards. Old cards are stupid looking.
Boy, Mark, that's not what you used to say. You told me you'd love to have a Wagner card and sell it and get rich.
Can't a guy change his mind? Why are you guys all over me about some stupid old card? Why don't you just let a guy collect whatever he wants to?
Hey, kids. How you two doing?
Hi, Andy. What can you tell us about the card in that poster over there?
There's a great story behind that card. It was issued over 80 years ago, and it shows a picture of the great Hall of Fame shortstop, Honus Wagner. The card is worth over $500,000.
Wow, why so much?
These days, baseball cards come with bubble gum, or you get them when you eat at a certain restaurant, or you can buy them all by themselves. But 80 years ago, baseball cards came with cigarettes.
Yuck, cigarette smoking is gross.
You're right, and that's why the card is so expensive. Honus Wagner hated cigarettes and thought people shouldn't smoke them. But in 1910, the tobacco company put his card in the cigarette packs anyway. Wagner was very angry because he believed smoking was bad. He was afraid kids who respected him would get the wrong idea, so he made the company take all his cards out of the packages and destroy them.
It sounds like Honus Wagner really cared about the kids who watched him play. What happened next?
The cigarette company took back all the packages and destroyed all the Wagner cards, or so they thought. A few of the packs with the cards had already been sold by stores. Everybody wanted one. Now, 80 years later, Wagner is the rarest card in the Hall of Fame. There are less than 50 copies in the world, and Wayne Gretzky, the hockey star, paid over $500,000 for one in great condition.
Mrs. Garcia knows how to find anything in the library. But will they have anything about how you find out if an old baseball card is real?
An old baseball card. We do have books on how they tell if old paintings and drawings are real. Why don't you try looking those up?
Wow, no wonder Honus Wagner is in the Hall of Fame. It sounds like he was part Rickey Henderson, part Cal Ripken Jr., and part Ozzie Smith all rolled into one. It looks like Mrs. Meniski is getting ready to have another yard sale. She had one just a couple of months ago, and lots of people came.
I'm afraid there won't be much of interest to people so young as you at my yard sale. I'm selling off some more old family things I found in the attic.
Is it okay if we look at the stuff you're setting out anyway? Maybe we'll find something interesting.
Certainly. Just be careful with the delicate things, please. I should have thought of pointing out those old 1910 tin boxes. Mark Moriarty thought they were fascinating, and he bought one at my last yard sale. It was so funny. After he bought the tin box, he gave me $1 for a piece of old cardboard that was in a carton of my mother's old magazines. It was over 80 years old. But why buy a piece of cardboard?
Michael and Christopher Gallen are sitting at home waiting to hear about that baseball card. Pick the 5 clues that explain the mystery. Now that we've found the right clues, point out the person who you think is behind the buried baseball card. If it's real, select Honus Wagner himself. You figured it out. Mark Moriarty created the counterfeit card. Let's check the evidence. Michael and Christopher Gallen and their dog Cassie found an old tin box. In the box was an old baseball card of Honus Wagner, one of the greatest shortstops of all time. Michael and Christopher recognized the card because it was pictured on the wall of Hill's baseball card shop. They knew that, if it was real, the card was worth thousands of dollars. But was it real? Andy Hill said there were less than 50 of these cards left in the world. He said he had sold Mark Moriarty a copy of a magazine with a picture of the Wagner card in it. Mrs. Meniski told us she sold an old tin box and a piece of old cardboard to Mark Moriarty. Nicola Hamble told us Mark went to the copy kiosk at the mall. He made a color copy from a magazine onto a piece of very old cardboard. You figured it out. Mark Moriarty created the fake Honus Wagner card and buried it in the park. He planned to let it age in the ground for a few months. Then Mark planned to go to the park one day and discover the long-lost Honus Wagner card. He figured that if the card was in bad condition, people would be less suspicious than if it looked brand new, and it would still be worth thousands of dollars. Unfortunately for Mark, Cassie, the Gallen's dog, decided she wanted to collect baseball cards too. She dug up Mark's treasure before he was ready to come and get it.